What's up guys, it's Tajae here, back with another Last of Us Part 2 Countdown Series video, and today we're now officially 8 days away from the release of The Last of Us Part 2. Now today we're finally about to get closure to a question that we've been speculating about for a very long time now, and that question is, how long is The Last of Us Part 2? So we've always known that The Last of Us Part 1 was about an 8 to 12 hour experience, and we heard that The Last of Us Part 2 was about 50% longer, so we all speculated around 20 to 25 hours, and it turns out we're getting longer than 20 to 25 hours. Our estimation was about on point, but instead the game is going to be a bit longer than what we originally thought. So of course, naturally, you're wondering, where exactly am I getting this information from? So this information is actually coming from an interview that Sam White conducted over Neil Druckmann, and over inside his article he actually states, Part 2 is Naughty Dog's double album, the kind of game only a handful of studios on Earth could hope to make, let alone pull off. Clocking in at 25 to 30 hours long, it's a revenge story with the scope of two games smashed together, a broader variety of personalities, a tighter set of locations, and a unique interwoven structure I've not seen attempted in games before. Throughout its lengthy tale, it remains unpredictable, avoids trope, and never succumbs to the weight of expectation by delivering mere fan service. Druckmann has written a story that strengthens the original while mirroring its own tone and message. So yeah, it looks like our long-awaited experience is about 30 hours long on average. Now there's only one issue I have with games being this long, and that's the fact that sometimes a video game can overstay its welcome. For instance, like a game that's done that to me in the past would be like Days Gone. I felt like Days Gone was a great game, but it just drug on too long at a certain point. So I'd really hate to see that happen with the game like The Last of Us Part 2, but then again, we got some reassurance because they said that it's an unpredictable game that avoids trope and never succumbs to the weight of expectations by delivering mere fan service. And I feel like these words do indeed hold weight because this studio is Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog has always proven with all their titles that they're all great games and none of them have ever been lacking in any type of area. So I do feel like they will live up to the hype and to the words that are brought towards them, because they haven't really given me a valuable reason to not trust that they can live up to their hype. So yeah, this is all great news to me and I'm excited for it. Now what if I were to tell you, even though this game is 30 hours long in content, it could have came out to be way longer. It's been confirmed that the developers over at Naughty Dog actually cut out a lot of content within their game. Now this information is actually coming from the co-writer of The Last of Us Part 2, which is Hallie Gross, and she touched on this topic during an interview with Sector. In the article it states that during development, Naughty Dog had to cut out a lot of content from the game, which she says is one of the hardest things the studio had to do during the long process. Gross explained that creative director Neil Druckmann was in charge of all those decisions, and whether or not something would end up being in the final game would depend on how well it fit within the largest cohesive experience. We have a huge studio with a lot of talented people who have great ideas, and we had to choose which ones to stay in the game and fit into the story and which would deviate from it. In the end, it all had to match the topic. Neil was in charge of it all, whether it corresponded to the theme in terms of storytelling, artificial intelligence behavior, or the artistic side. Everything had to correspond to the central theme. The hardest part was cutting out the content, as there were a lot of things that didn't make it into the final game. Now I'm gonna be completely honest, this does not surprise me at all. When it comes to like production of video games, movies, TV shows, or really just any project ever, there's always stuff that doesn't make it into the final version. But I will say the fact that the game is still 30 hours even after they cut out all the content that they couldn't keep inside the game, that's incredible to me. And it makes me wonder, like, if they honestly had all the time in the world to work on this game, how long could it possibly be? But at the same time, whenever you have all that time in the world to work on something, you're going to continue to keep pushing the boundaries further and further until there is a set deadline. So I mean, at the end of the day, we'll never truly know, but it's still just a very interesting thought. But yeah, in conclusion to all this, the game will be 30 hours long and I'm very excited to dive into the experience. Now something else I want to touch on before we get out of here today is the Metacritic prediction. Now the reason why I want to do this is because tomorrow the reviews for The Last of Us Part 2 actually get released, which means we will be having the Metacritic score go up tomorrow, which is Friday. So let's do a quick prediction for the scores. Now if I were to be realistic with it, I'd have to say this game would get no less than a 95, so I'd say a 95 plus, but for my exact number that I'd like to guess would be a 98. So now that you guys know my estimate of a 95 plus and my exact of a 98, I'd love to know your estimate and your exact. Leave a comment down below of what you think this game will score. I love to discuss it tomorrow. That'll be a lot of fun. But another reason why it's going to be so fun is because you already know I'm gonna be clowning every single goofy who was trying to say this game would be trash whenever reviews very well. Then one last thing, just as a shameless plug, today is the official PlayStation 5 reveal where you get to see brand new games or whatnot. I am holding a viewing party. The stream is already scheduled. I will put the link inside the description as well as inside the pinned comment. Go and set a reminder to that stream. It's just in a few hours from when you're watching this video. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. on and let's just go discover the world of the PlayStation 5. Again, we are officially 8 days away from the release of The Last of Us Part 2, and just to prove you guys wrong that it is indeed 8 days, because a lot of you guys keep saying my counter is off, today is June 11th and the game comes out June 19th, so it's as simple as adding 11 plus 8, and that's 19. So again, the counter is not off, and if you think it's off, I guess you will see it's not off whenever we get here Thursday and there's one more day. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for brand new to stay up to date with the Last of Us Part 2 countdown series, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another banger.